Hey everybody, I hope y'all are having an amazing day today. My name is Mercer and today we will be doing something a bit different than we normally do. Today I will be saying all of my ideas for Death Battle, in which I made a previous video on this, but my opinions can change pretty often, and so I won't be doing any Marvel versus DC battles because I know people can get tired of them, but I will be having a Marvel character, um, and I was going to upload Wario versus Knuckles today, but I figured that I could upload it next week because, have to finish up with the editing, and I just want to make it really perfect for you guys. So with that out of the way, let's begin. So my first idea is Cell from Dragon Ball Z versus Mariam from Hunter x Hunter, or Hunter x Hunter. And I have a connection to both of these characters. Mariam is how they say it in the dub version. Is my favorite character in Hunter x Hunter. Even though he's kind of a jerk to a lot of the people. But and Cell is just really cool. He's not my favorite DBZ character. My favorite DBZ character is Piccolo, or just Dragon Ball in general. Um, but in terms of who I think would win this fight, I think this is important. This is a bit harder because Kian's Dojo did a 1-minute melee on this, and by the way, it's a fantastic video. So be sure to check that out. I'll leave a link in the description for it. But in terms of who I think would win, I actually think they were right about it, that Mariam would be the victor. Because Mariam has taken Netero's zero hand with nothing, and you can't say the same for lots of key attacks from Cell. Sombra versus Spy is my next idea. This one is pretty obvious if you know TF2 and Overwatch, as Sombra is actually based off of Spy. Honestly, by looking through their arsenal and speed and strength and all that, you could say that Spy would be the victor of this fight. He does have a slight edge in experience, being, this killer. He also is natural instead of using technology, and he does not use any electrical sources while he does have an electric disabler. So he probably would win the fight. John Arc versus Sokka. I genuinely got confused on this one. Not saying I didn't with the characters, I do. But honestly, it took a while for me to figure out the victor. I come to the conclusion that John would be the victor because of his better training. In Ruby, he's able to, after he trains, he's able to get good enough to rival some of his team members. Sokka doesn't have any bending, meaning his abilities aren't necessarily at their peak. And you're probably like, what about his obsidian or sword training? Well, John has been able to take out creatures of Grimm far more quickly than Sokka's been able to take out other people. Jimmy Neutron versus Dexter. This fight is a lot like Danny Phantom versus Jake Long, in which it's a cartoon fight with an obvious stomp. Dexter wins. You're probably wondering why, or maybe I'm biased, or that's probably what you're thinking, but no, I'm not. Here's why Dexter wins. The show is called Dexter's Laboratory, so he's proven he can make his own armor. And his armor is far more advanced than Jimmy's. He's also far smarter, which is what really matters in the fight. Noob Saveot versus Reaper. This fight is awesome! I know that I've put two Overwatch characters in this, but in truth, I honestly really love the game, and for this fight, this is another Mortal Kombat versus Overwatch, which is what I put in my last one, but for this fight, I actually think the Overwatch character would come on top. Reaper has proven with his Death Blossom that he can hit multiple targets, and I don't think that Noob Saibot could outmaneuver that. Parasites are a very common thing, and some of them can be weaponized. That was a weird intro, but Philia versus Venom. This was the Marvel character, by the way. I think that Venom would actually be the victor of this fight. He's developed an immunity to sound, and I don't think that Philia has any means of countering it. And I've played a bit of Skullgirls, and from what I've seen, Philia is pretty good with speed. However, Venom was able to counteract a missile. So they seem to be evenly matched. Also, Venom has all the strength of Spider-Man, and more abilities like cloaking, disguises, cloning, and etc. etc. Overall, I do believe that Venom would win. I love Ridley, and I certainly love Pokemon. So Ridley versus Rayquaza seems like something that I would enjoy. And I do, actually. This has been my number one fight for a while in my head. And to decide a victor is very hard. I had to put my bias towards Ridley aside for a while, but in the end, I honestly do think that he actually could still win. Ridley is around planet level, and you could say the same for Rayquaza. Now, Ridley does have a new armor, which could provide some backup defense, and he has proven to be faster than Rayquaza. So without that, they seem to be matched in strength, with Ridley just coming on top in speed. He wins. My mom loves this fight, and I certainly love it too. James Bond versus Jason Bourne is incredibly cool. And to be honest, it was very hard to decide a victor here. Both seem to be evenly matched in terms of hand-to-hand combat, but to use the precise James Bond, we could use the Sean Connery version. And that one has a number of different gadgets that could counteract Jason Bourne. Don't get me wrong, Jason Bourne probably has better physical stats. This one's version has a buzzsaw, numerous explosives, and shocking launch. So with that arsenal, James Bond should be the victor. This one is awesome. John Wick vs. Agent 47 is an incredibly cool fight that I personally love. I've played a lot of the Hitman games and thoroughly enjoyed them, and I've seen all the John Wick movies. And to be honest, deciding a victor, though it may have been simple, was a bit hard. Agent 47 likely outclasses John Wick in terms of strength, speed, and durability, as his physical stats have proven to be upgraded due to his genetic cloning. John Wick's arsenal, though it may be great, is outclassed by Hitman 47's too. So, in truth, Hitman 47 should be the winner. And for my final fight, Akai versus Kilauea Zoldyck, another Hunter x Hunter character. This fight really means a lot to me. Kilauea has been one of my favorite Hunter x Hunter characters for so long, and I certainly do love Akai. In terms of who I think would win, this DBX was actually done, and honestly, I agree. Kilauea has been proven to move faster than light, and Akai, though she could move around that same speed, is slightly below Kilauea. Kilauea has also been trained his whole life, while Akai has not. And while Akai wields a sword, Kilauea's weapons are far more versatile, being electric yo-yos that he can manipulate through his net. In the end, I do believe that Kilauea has better strength, speed, and arsenal. So I will see y'all in the next one, and I hope you enjoy this. Later.